Hey, so I just picked up these 2000 retro Concords. Go with my OG pair. Figure why wear the OGs out if I can snag these and go with them. Actually in slightly better shape than my OGs since I did not buy them dead stock, but uh, they're in really good shape here. OGs are in pretty good shape. Soles are actually a lot clearer because I've been seaglowing the crap out of them, but getting really tired of the process. It takes a long time when you live where I live, just not seeing a lot of sun on average. Anyway, just to give a quick show of the shoe so you can kind of see what I'm working with. Got to do a little bit of Mr. Clean Magic Eraser on the midsoles still. It's an easy touch up. It just takes like 5 minutes to do that. The main issue is just the mesh, or what I just called the nylon, because mesh seems like a silly word for something so durable. And I get the point. It's just a way to distinguish between the patent and the upper. You got the leather, the nylon, and the patent leather. So as we all know, black carbon fiber. Traction pods are in really good order. Sorry, he's sitting on a little bit of water there from the cleaning product. Anyway, they're of course just piss yellow, which doesn't really bother me much. Probably will sea glow them. Just getting really tired of sea glowing. Been doing it to like 8 pair lately, and not sure if I'm going to take the time with these. Anyway, so the process for the evening is just hitting these up with RIT, whitener and brightener, and some nice very hot water. Got it to the point where I can just barely touch it, and just started doing this on this kind of front quarter area here, and then the back is still dry. So I can kind of walk you through the method. Really just been following other YouTube videos that I watched. I wish I could remember the usernames to give them credit, but you guys know you're out there. And one guy talks about his, I think he bought them at Foot Locker or something, has a wrinkle-free receipt. Anyway, this is my little cobbler station on top of these beat-up old washer dryers for doing all kinds of D-lams repair with 11s in particular. Amazing goops, the stuff to get. And this stuff is contact adhesive or contact cement. It has toluene in it. A lot of these toluene products are starting to get outlawed in certain states, quite literally. You got to get it from like out of state. Actually says it right there. It contains toluene and petroleum distillate or something like that. But anyway, that's the stuff to get if you got any delamination issues, especially after using the sea glow on the soles. So Lincoln Easy Cleaner for lighter jobs. Not going to cut it on this one. I got to stick with laundry detergent and the whitener brightener. But anyway, want to just kind of walk through the way I've found that's most effective. I tried it on a pair of Air Max bursts I've had probably since they came out. Tag says 98. I think I got them in 99 or 2000, but on some $35 closeout. But I tried those first just because they were, I rocked those shoes a lot. They're pretty much beaters. I'm trying to rehab them, get the midsoles painted. Project for another day. But I started with the mesh just to kind of see how this would work. And at first I didn't really like the results because it doesn't appear very visible. But like other videos mentioned, you got to give it some time and let this stuff work its magic. For me, it's overnight and leaving it on. I don't rinse it off. It's not bleach. It's not going to yellow your shoes. The whole point is it's a bleach alternative. And it whitens and brightens shoes, and any other color, any dingy white fabrics. So it's really a pretty safe product, and I know these are grails to a lot of people. They're one of my favorite shoes. They're not my favorite Jordan, but they're up there a ways. Probably in the top 10 anyway. I like the black red 11s more. I was wearing my OGs yesterday, but anyway, I wanted to mention that this stuff, even though they're grails to a lot of people, they want to take it easy on them. This Cordura nylon is really bomb proof. I wouldn't take rough grit sandpaper to it. It's gonna scar it up. But the whole point of the aesthetic of the shoe when Tinker designed it was to mix the aesthetics of patent leather that looks like a dress shoe with something bomb proof like a nylon backpack, so that you kind of blended these two worlds together for function and form. But I say that just because this stuff, when you say mesh, you think of this thin product that, mesh just sounds, wimpy and like it's not going to hold up. This is a really tight weave nylon that is, thickly padded in between the sections, and even the eyelets, even though it's a different construction, is the same material. And stuff can take some heat. You know, it can take some abuse. I don't abuse them, but the point being that you can leave this stuff on and it's not going to hurt it. It's not going to just dissolve it or affect the material. It's really easy to just leave it on and let it do its magic, and then come back to it the next day and just start with the method again. When I'm starting this out with hot water, it's probably not as hot as it was when I started talking, but I work it in sections. So if I'm kicking the shoe over, usually have it on a towel. But anyway, start with the hot water. Just get the panels pretty wet. I'm probably going to show some suds because I was working that other section. And just work a couple panels at a time so the water's staying hot where you're applying the next step to keep it getting as sudsy as possible so it'll have the best effect. So I'll go ahead and just wet down the rest of the panel since I worked the lower half already. Anyway, then we move on to what I use is just this Arm & Hammer. Really doesn't make a difference with just a liquid detergent. It's getting pretty low because I've been working several pairs this weekend, but and just start hitting that in the panels that you just went over. There, this is getting really bright there. Yeah, just keep hitting it. I keep a pretty thick amount on. I mean, the shoe's stuffed with an old t-shirt so it can stay lint free in there. I really get the threads, you know, go up and down the eyelets, or eye stays, I guess, and just really get it nice and sudsy, and you don't be afraid to overuse, especially with a shoe this dirty. At least it probably actually is dirtier than it looks. I don't think the camera picks it up as dirty as what I'm seeing, but really get the suds in, because I'm only going to use the laundry detergent once, unless for some reason the next day I'm still seeing obvious dirt spots. I might work those particular areas, and then go to the RIT right after. You know, notice I'm not washing the brush or anything. I have to be that technical about it. And the mix of the two will really get sudsy on those areas, especially if you started with relatively hot water. And just keep hitting. I really re-dip after each quarter panel, and then I pay special extra attention to the eye stays. I kind of work the brush in underneath the loops. You notice it's got little like wrinkle dirt lines on the tip right where the laces go through. And anyway, this will get through this quarter panel. And I just leave it on. It's as simple as that. Come back the next day, probably rinse it off with some hot water, blot it dry with a towel, just kind of squeeze out the excess moisture, and if it doesn't get the results I want, then I hit it over again. But I'm probably not going to go back to the detergent. The detergent's kind of a one-time thing, like I said, unless I'm working a really dirty spot. You know, like this tongue may give me some work on these areas here. A little extra work than the side panels will, but anyway, that's really all there's to it. I mean, when I take this in for the night, it's leaving it just like that. It's not going to turn it yellow. It's not bleach. You know, it's a bleach alternative. It's going to keep it white, and it'll work its magic over the hours. It's not something you're going to visibly see. Kind of, you know, you're probably going to see the results of Sea Glow a lot faster than you're going to see the results of this, but at the same time, it takes a lot less effort, I think. Just being that you don't have to baby the soles with ice packs and all that stuff. But yeah, and then the next day I'll just, you know, take an average towel and just kind of squeeze dry it off, and start over again after I've seen what the progress looks like. But one application of this will make a difference if you go this route with it. I mean, my shoes were looking really white the next day, so that's what I recommend. Leave it on, hit it up again the next day, get them sparkling white, and then rock them. Wear all my shoes, including my OG 13 black toes. I just rehabbed and got them going, but